Hello, everybody. Welcome to Darren After the Credits, rebranded for 2024, except it's not 2024 yet. We're still in 2023. Fully expected not to be back until next year, but I was like, you know what? I don't know we're going to have time for this next year. Like, end of this month going into next month is crazy for TV. Like, what if Reacher Season 2 and Percy Jackson? So I was like, you know what? Let's do this in 2023, get like a little bit of a soft launch before heading into Christmas and the New Year. Today I'm with, as always, Darth Bunyan. Darth, how are you today? How's it going?
I'm good. How you doing?
I am good. I am very happy to be back. I'm excited to be talking about some of our shows for next year. I know next year seems to be a very slow year for movies as far as the strikes kind of put everything back. But I really do think that TV is going to carry 2024. There are so much good stuff coming out next year. So much fun things to look forward to. And I'm very excited to jump into it. Guys in the chat, make sure to put in what some of your most anticipated shows of the year are as we go through here. We picked out 6 of Darth's most anticipated, 6 of mine. Again, not that we're both not excited for all these shows, but these were just the ones that we picked. And if we didn't get to pick a show that we're also very excited for, there's so many shows. There's so many good shows to be excited for this year. But I do want to give a shout out to our chat today. Daniel is in the house. Hi, how's it going, Daniel? Holding down the chat today. I very much appreciate it. Liam in the chat. Liam, how's it going? Darth is in the chat. Never heard of this dude. So again, thank you everyone in the chat. Daniel already said looking forward to Young Sheldon and Superman and Lois. Well, I can tell you at least one of those are not on today's roster. But we will see. And I say we just kind of jump into today's episode. With first choice was from Darth Bunyan, and is also again a show that I'm very excited for, and that's Marvel Studios' Echo. And Echo is not a show we have to wait very long at all for, because it's in like 2 weeks, like 3 weeks. It's quite insane. Darth, you want to start us off with talking about some Echo?
Yeah, just that we got a strong performance from the lead actor. I'm blanking on her name at the moment.
Yeah.
In Hawkeye with the kind of origin into what we're going to be getting. And we're going to be getting Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin and obviously Charlie Cox as Daredevil. So, and then everybody's obviously got the suit that they're complaining about. You know, they got rid of the old mustard. That honestly, when they showed it, I was kind of like, okay, like I'm not super sold on it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like behind the scenes. But like I appreciate that they're trying to go back to like a whole classic design.
Yeah.
And then when it came on, I didn't hate it. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. It was a cool, funky, you know, alternate costume. So
I really like it as a one-time thing. If that was his main suit going forward, I would dislike that. But that was such a fun way for them to be like, hey, here's this thing from the comics that we can show off 2 times, and then we never have to show it off again. In a show that, like, you can't even, like, trust the canon. Like, how do we know that she didn't make up Daredevil was there the whole time? Like there's nothing holding us to, you know, what happened in that show. So
that's
a
phenomenal point. That is a genuine point. Like you could argue, I'm gonna butcher her name, but yeah, no, you could argue that She-Hulk's like show, she was very steadfast in making sure that her narrative remained true. Do you know what I mean? Even to the point of what the fans would say was a detriment to the show.
100%. Yeah, no, I am also very excited, and I think that this show has had such a weird journey as well, from people very much hating on the show's existence, people knowing literally nothing about what the show was or what it was going to be about, people saying, hey, you should cancel the show, no one cares about it. When they announced it at like D23, people booed. Like, people were like, boo, we don't want the show. And now that people have seen the trailer, they know kind of a premise. It's literally doing what everyone's been begging Marvel to do for like 7 years now, and that's be darker, have it be bloody and violent, and bring back both Kingpin and Daredevil. Now it seems to be at the top of everyone's most anticipated lists, and I really love that for them.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, I'm going to butcher her name. Alaqua Cox. Correct me if I'm wrong, but she is a person that is deaf also, as well as Echo.
Yeah.
So, you know, the casting is on point as well.
100%, you know? 100%. Yeah, no, I'm very excited. I'm going to be very curious to see ultimately what it is, because again, I like, as excited as I am, I'm also very worried. Like this current run of MCU stuff has been very hit or miss for me. And I'm very worried about the 5-episode drop. Like, it was originally supposed to be like 8 to 9 episodes, and they had to cut it to 5, and that is very scary, especially with what we've heard from like the behind the scenes stuff with these shows. I hope it's good. I hope they got, like, if because like we had heard again that they weren't done with the show, that they had to rush its ending and stuff like that. If this show is still good after all of this, it's a miracle, and I think should be praised even more for it, for sure. Daniel, let's bring it up now. I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring it up this stream, but I had said we were talking. We're like, if someone brings it up, we will talk about it for a minute. Oops, I brought up the wrong one. Jonathan Majors has been found guilty and fired. Yeah, this came out a couple hours ago today. Very long time coming. He's been assault. Yeah.
So basically, like, there's a difference in England, right? There's your country has 3rd, 2nd, and 1st degree, right? So 3rd degree is basically when they inflict some damage, whether it will unintentionally. I think that's what, or unintentionally, right? And then 2nd degree is definite intent and definite harm and quite a bit of it. And then 1st degree is like just shy of death and trying to, you know. So basically, he's been convicted for ABH, for actual body harm. And it is a really difficult one, because obviously, yes, he should be penalized and he should be punished. But after the man served his time, what's to say that he shouldn't be a part of society again and actively working in what he should be? the guy's a phenomenally talented actor. To sit and just cancel the guy over a domestic, which happens all the time, right? I'm not like sitting there defending somebody. I'm just saying, right? That yes, it was horrible. It shouldn't have happened. He is going to be punished. That he's got a hearing in February about the charges that are going to come. But to sit there and say that the man's life is over, like, that's it, it is ridiculous. Especially because she didn't even want to get the police involved. You know what I mean? Like, not that that's a great thing, like there are some serious cases where that's a thing and it shouldn't be, but yeah, I'm sorry, go on.
No, I think that's definitely a part of a larger conversation about how inmates are treated and what happens again after he's out. Should he get his role back? Should, like, let's be honest, I don't think he's ever getting a role again. I think that's the end of his career, and that's how it normally works. And like, you see that inmates and stuff, like when it's on your record, they have a hard time even getting like a waiting job or any job at all. And I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve that, because I do, in this, at least right now, he definitely does. And he does need to be punished for that. And I'm glad that this is out in the open and people know about it. And I hope his girlfriend is safer now because of it. But I will be curious about what happens after for him. But let's talk about the Marvel side of it. Because it's always a very tricky side to it, because like, when something like this is announced, the first thing I think of is like, okay, what's happening to Kang? But it is hard to also keep in mind, hey, this is a real person with a real family. This news is affected more than just, hey, who's going to fight our heroes, But DH1 asked, do you think Marvel is going to pivot away from the Kang storyline now that Majors has been found guilty? What do you think? Do you think we're going to recast Kang, or do you think
it's real 50-50? Kind of the fact that they've dropped him like hot lead, which is ridiculous, especially after the shenanigans that Ezra Miller pulled and DC and Warner Brothers stuck by them, right? Now, it's not a one-for-one comparison, but Ezra Miller was kind of like terrorizing some people and has assaulted others.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not that different. Right. But, stuck by them, and then, got kicked. We got the Flash movie. They've dropped Jonathan Majors like hot lead, like whatever. The thing is, though, is like that does give some credence to the rumor of them maybe going with Doom. I would say that the whole thing would suffer. Right. Everybody's saying, Marvel's in like hot poop right now, just generally before the Jonathan Major stuff, because of where they were with like Phase 4 and 5. All of that just gets blown up like a bomb if they try and scramble and fix. They need to recast, keep cohesion to what they've done, and move forward. Then if they panic and just show no strength whatsoever and no conviction to the story that they're trying to tell, then it just proves everybody right that it's all just a hot mess, in my opinion.
Again, it's such a tricky situation, and there's no right way. And like, honestly, I don't know if there's ever been a situation like this ever, not to this level. Like, they gave Jonathan Majors the key to the kingdom. He was the final thing in a 40-50 row storyline. Like by the time we reach the end, it'll be like a 40 some projects in that was all building to this big moment. And it's so crazy that one man can make it all crumble. For weeks, I was team recast. For months, for years, I've been saying it's the easiest recast you can do to someone that is literally about variants and alternate versions of himself. Just bring in like a female Kang or a Kang that looks slightly different than him, and like you could bring in any, and it's a very, and I still say that, like, I think it would be very easy if you want to recast storylines.
I will say as well, sorry, that Marvel or Marvel, because it's before Disney, I want to say, right? Is the whole MCU Disney? It's not, is it?
No, I think Avengers was the first Disney MCU
Right.
movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Like their whole thing, both of them together at this point, is all about second chances, right? Because there is a whole bunch of that cast that have been arrested. That whole MCU people, heroes, villains alike, that have been arrested and charged with various different things, and are still major factors and or stars.
Mm-hmm.
And and their characters are still being utilized, right? And there was a person in 2004 was arrested on domestic violence charges.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? Like one can't help but notice the elephant in the room here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely very unfortunate. It's very clear, and I don't want to keep on this topic too long today, but like, it is very clear when you have money in Hollywood, some things can get swiped under the rug, and maybe this whole thing was too public. Maybe there was just too much against him. Maybe it was other stuff at play, right? There's things that could definitely be at play, why it affects him and not other people. I mean, Ezra Miller is prime example of like, how are they not in prison right now? Like, that's again, we've covered that topic so many times, but like, I don't know. It's, and there's not much we can do currently with how it is all playing out. But to kind of go back to what I was saying, I was team recast for so long, but I think this past week I have kind of seen like, well, maybe from a marketing standpoint, it might be better if you at least take Kang out of the title of Avengers. I think that is a no-brainer. I think, and like we were kind of talking about this a little bit, but like, if you have Kang in the title, if he's the main focus of these films, when this movie comes out, anything people will be talking about is Jonathan Majors. They're going to be talking about the drama and what happened with him. And I could see, just from a marketing standpoint, being like, is that what we want people to be talking about when an Avengers movie is coming out? Is that what we want people to be mentioning and talking about? No, they want people to be talking about how cool the Avengers are.
They're never not going to. Even if it's if it's a recast and they go to another villain, there's always going to be the comparison of, what would we have with Kang? This is what we did get with Kang.
Sure.
We can go on to a trajectory of what we would have got, and people are. No one's going to be happy at this point. You know what I mean? It's literally damage control. The simplest thing to do to keep your whole thing, your whole status quo just going, is to just say, right, this is Kang of 1670. And he is the Kangest Kang of all Kangs. Those Kangs that you saw before were not Kangy enough of Kangs. This Kang is Kang that will Kang of all Kangs and kick some Kang. That's it. Like, you bring in Doom, everybody's just going to go, oh, look at Kang Jr. Like, this is what we got because of everything going to pot.
I mean, maybe. I feel like people love Doom though. I think Doom is such candy to like MCU fans. It's like, yeah, this Jonathan stuff, it sucks. But hey, look what we have here. We got Dr. Doom, the guy you've been asking for 20 years. Like, could see. Here's what I would do. If I was in charge, I would do a bit of both, I think you recast Kang. I think you do bring him back, but you don't make him the main villain. I think he's involved because I do think Loki sets it up where if you want that to be the final kind of as him as the main villain, you could do that. Have Doom be the main threat for these characters, but have Kang involved in the movie as kind of like a side piece. So he's there. It doesn't feel like we just wasted 4 years of our lives building up to Kang. But Doom is what they're focusing on. They can put Doom in the titles. They can put him on the posters. They can put him on the marketing. You know what I mean?
In my head canon, he's what comes next, right? Yeah. Doom's the next guy. The next.
I would have agreed, yeah.
Kang, right? So, like, to do a whole sleight of hand, I feel is unjust to the story, unjust to Kang as a character that we built up so far. You know, it like when, say for example, like Thanos was teased and introduced, they didn't diminish they didn't nerf everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, they were who they were still, you know. And then like if they at this point, if they just say, I am Doom, it's my machinations this whole time, then it just robs of Kang, in my opinion.
Sure.
You know?
And it does, 100%. It does, like, but I think that's going to happen either way. Like, I think Kang is Kang is, as a character and as a vision, he's robbed either way, no matter what way they show. And again, this is a situation that I don't think has a happy ending. Like, it's drama either way.
Well,
but I am going to be curious what way. And I 100% agree with you. I think it's a 50-50 currently. Like, I could see them going either direction.
Yeah. There is like a one best way, and that is like if we get a recast of an actor that is just as good, or if not better, than Jonathan Majors, because he was real good. Like real good.
It does really suck. It really does suck because he was really good. Like all through Loki, every episode was like, this guy is so good. So it is very unfortunate. But I will say I'm happy that we now know. Like it's been almost a year now of what's happening with Kang, what's happening with the MCU, what's happening with Loki, what's happening with Kang Dynasty, what's happening with all this stuff. It's been so long, and I'm glad we can be like, all right, this is what's happening. We can move on. I think we have, don't we have like a D23 in the next year or so? So maybe D23 in next November or something. Like maybe there we'll find out.
Just really sad as well is like how many leaks there are at Marvel that they couldn't even hedge their bets by having secret castings, you know, to kind of like, hey, just in case we got this guy seems real cool, you know.
Yeah.
But okay, back to Echo quickly.
Okay, yes, let's get back on our most anticipated shows.
Was the timeline of this show changed? It was, right?
About one, like when it takes place, or what?
Just when they were going to release it, because there was a whole thing about like the show order like a few times, and I think this one got shuffled around a couple of times.
This comes out next month, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, no, but like a year ago.
Oh yeah, it was supposed to come out this year, and then it was pushed to next year, early next year.
So like I don't know if there's any coincidence, or if it's just a coincidence, or if there is any connection, but there is Echo's Native American, if I'm not mistaken. And in What If, they're introducing a brand new Native American hero called Kahori, which I'm very excited to see, and I'm wondering if What If gives us an introduction to a character that may be brought up later on that we may not have known about without said introduction. You know what I mean? Like it would have been like putting your horse before the cart kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm very curious about her. Like I know this week there's been a lot of talk about What If and all those titles and people not excited, but I'm very excited to see what this new character has. Like if she could, like again, I don't think she's appearing in Echo like a lot of people have said, but like well, I mean, I guess she technically could, but like I'm curious where she'll show up again, if it's the Avengers movies, if it's What If Season 3, which was also announced as of recent.
Well, I don't know like barely anything about Native American culture, if I'm absolutely honest.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering if her name, like she's taken her name from like a Native American like legend or like thing from their culture, you know, which could also be brought up maybe in Echo. Because for me, the show's really exciting because yes, they get to deal with the drama of her wanting revenge. What is her life now? You know, because since as long as she can remember, she's had Kingpin in her life as a benevolent person who's always looked out for her, but then obviously not doing so by killing her dad and stuff. and they're lying to her, but there's always been that dynamic there. Now everything's been blown to smithereens, and she thinks that she has her revenge. Obviously, he then turns up and he's got an eye patch and everything, but what does she do with her life?
Yeah.
Now, you know? So there's that, but then I'm also really, really excited and hopeful that we explore more of her family, and more of her friends, and more of Kingpin's. Because yes, it's like a universe builder, but it could be even more so if they choose to be.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Kingpin seems like almost like a co-lead of the show, which I think is very, very smart, just as from a marketing standpoint of just like, okay, we have basically a fresh new character. No one knows anything about her. MCU fans are very hard to please. How do we get people on board? And it's put one of people's favorite MCU villains of all time as like your co-lead. And I think that's going to work very well. And yeah, I'm very excited for Echo. I do want to move on here because we do have quite a good amount of shows to talk about today. My first pick was Tiana. Very different from literally every other show on this list. Every other show on this list is so drastically different. I don't talk about it on here a lot. Massive Disney fan. Love Disney. Tiana and Moana was announced like 3-4 years ago. And I was so hyped. I was like, let's go. We're finally getting some proper Disney shows and not just these shorts. This is going to be like a musical, and I was super excited for it. Moana was pushed back even further. We don't know when that's coming out. It might be next year, it might not be, but Tiana is officially coming out next year, and I'm very excited, and I probably won't shut up about it when it comes out. We don't need to talk about it too much because I don't think anyone else here cares. But I'm excited,
like,
and I'm
it's interesting because they're not going for the straight to DVD release route.
No.
I mean, they're just like, here's a show, crack on at your leisure.
Yeah, no, again, this has kind of been what I've been asking for, because like what they've done on Disney Plus with the other projects have been like they have announced, we're doing a new Cars series based on the Cars. So I was like, oh, that's very interesting. But like each episode was like 5 minutes long, and there's like 10 episodes. Like, this isn't really a show. These are a bunch of shorts, and we've done that a bunch now, and these seem like proper shows. And I'm excited to see what that endures. And I love the like Princess and the Frog world. I think that, and you said that you haven't seen it, right?
No. So where did her story finish? Did she get like the Prince Charming at the end, or did they go?
Yes. They got married, and she opens her like restaurant. And the series seems like it's going to be about her balancing her dreams of a restaurant, but also being like a queen and having to balance those two worlds. And it's also a thing of like, there's been a lot of criticisms with Disney. It's like, well, your only black princess was a frog 90% of the movie. And like their big thing for this was like, well, here she is. She's not going to be a frog at all in the movie. She's just a woman who has real problems and real things and real feelings. And I think that's amazing. And I think Tiana has been such a like influential character for so many young women and children for the last 10 years or so. So I'm excited to have her back. I hope Moana also comes out next year, because I'm even more excited for that. I love the Moana world as well. But we can move on. The Boys season 4. Boys are going to carry the superhero genre these next couple years. They're taking over. We just had Gen V. They just announced The Boys Mexico. That should be coming out eventually. And now we have The Boys season 4. Now, trailer for this came out about a month ago. We actually haven't talked about it yet, Darth. Thoughts on that trailer and kind of your overall thoughts on The Boys season 4?
I could not be more excited, if I'm honest. Like, it just raises so many questions, you know. My biggest one is Black Noir.
Yes.
How are they bringing that man back? What is the situation there? You know. Second biggest question, I think, is what are they doing with Homelander? Because while it's not like the last season, there's a lot of people that are like, there's not much room you got left with the guy, you know?
Yes.
And then that being said, once you take him out of the equation, what's left for the cast of The Boys? Like, yes, you have Gen V. You said The Boys Mexico?
Yes, a new show, yeah.
That sounds awesome. Like, what the hell could that possibly be about? wow. Yeah, like, but for the people of the boys like Mother's Milk and Frenchie, like, what is left after Homeland is gone? You know, because like he's like the big threat. So unless it's going to be like a villain of the week thing where it's just them taking out people that they can easily take care of, you know, then I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they have that 7-year plan for the show. I don't know how you can stretch that out. Like, I don't know if you can do 4 more seasons of Homelander. Like, that's tough. Unless he gets taken down this season, we get someone new for the next 3 seasons or something. Maybe a lot of people have said, like, hey, Soldier Boy's out there. What if you make him your main new villain? And I would not be opposed to that. I think Jensen has what it takes to be that shoulder hold. But also, it's so hard because I think Homelander has become the show's logo almost. Like, when you think of the boys, you think of Homelander, right? Like, when you think of like Nickelodeon, you think of SpongeBob. Like, I kind of think it's the same thing. Almost for like Amazon as a whole, actually. Like, when I think of Amazon, the first thing I think of is Homelander now, which is kind of insane. So I think they're very afraid to get rid of Homelander and the boys as a whole, because it's very clear they have no interest in stopping. Right, they have at least 7 seasons planned for this. Gen V just got a season 2. The boys next, Mexico just got picked up. Like, they have long plans for the show.
So you think they're just going to burn the universe to the ground, like just bleed it dry?
I hope not. And like, it's a weird situation. I've talked about this a lot in here. Like, I currently have faith in them because they have not disappointed me. We've had 5 actually, if you count the animated thing. 5 great seasons of television from them. This trailer looks like it's going to be nothing but that as well. So about to get 6, and I have faith. And like, ultimately, like, I can say what I would do in this situation, but if they keep putting out good television, who am I to say anything? You know what I mean? Like, if it's good, it's good. Do 50. If you can make 50 good seasons, then do 50 good seasons. Like, that's how it is. Just, I don't want it to be a like a Supernatural for a lot of people. Those first 5 seasons are, for people, amazing, like fantastic. And then eventually,
I just yesterday finished watching it.
Oh yeah? Oh nice. I have seen like 9 seasons. I haven't seen all of it, but it's so weird because I've seen more Supernatural than like almost any other show. And I still have like 6 seasons. Like, it's insane. It's so much. But yeah, I'm excited. But like, talking about reasons we're excited, I do just think this season looks really, really good. And again, I think it's going to be one of the main like comic book superhero shows of next year. Like, I think MCU only has like 1 movie, so I think this is going to be one of the big things that we have.
What's the new hero called? Truth Bomb.
What's that?
What's the new hero called? Is it Truth Bomb?
I did hear something about this. I haven't memorized all the new character names yet, but yeah, there's like 3 new soups this season. There's 1 new part of the 7. And then there's that character sister, and then we have new Noir as well. Let's talk about him actually, because there's been a lot of theories about like who Black Noir is. There's been a lot of theories that I know something from the comics that they do. That a lot of people are saying they're adapting that story, and that would make a lot of sense because they went from, oh, they're doing that story, oh no, we killed him off, we're no longer doing that, oh wait, maybe we're doing it again. I know a lot of people have been theorizing Sam is under that suit, which is a very fun theory. I would be very hype, but also I think he's way too small in that suit. Like, he does not look tall enough unless they gave him like booster seats or something in there. Also, I don't know if Bot would trust a rageful like 13-year-old or whatever, like 16-year-old to be part of the 7. Like,
that they've violently been experimenting on for years.
Yeah, I don't see, like, I could see them using him and maybe someday putting him in that spot, but like, they're already having trouble with the soups they have. I would be trying to find the nicest soups possible where I can use them, like control them and get another Homelander.
Like, Kate is a real interesting thing, because if you you could have her. You could have her up there with like the heads, right?
Yeah.
And in the meeting, so you could get all of the deals that you wanted if you kept her a secret.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Lex Luthor did with Mercy Graves as security. You could have her as your secret right-hand person. No pun intended, because that's what the only one left. I think, or the one that's gone. Either way, but you could have her there. Like they want contracts in the military, right?
Yeah.
Have her in the meeting. Like, oh, would you like a drink? And as that she's being like really close, boom, there's the touch. You want to have the contract of the military. Boom.
Yes.
You solved, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I would use him as I would use her. She could be a secret weapon against Homelander herself. Like, if you have some of these people in here that are too powerful and you can't control them, she's one person that can control Homelander. She could go in there and be like, hey, settle down. Hey, don't kill a whole crowd of people right now. Like, don't do that. And he'd be like, all right. You know, like he couldn't do nothing, you know? So I'd be very curious if that's maybe how they use her this season, or if that's how they attempt to use her. Because I don't think she wants to be used by anyone else. So I think she'll fight that. But if they could get her, like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
See, we talk about what's left for the boys. If they had like a change like the TVA and went a la Supernatural and just went after the good, like looked after the good ones and like take care of the bad ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That'd be interesting. But again, it's just like villain of the week stuff, you know?
100%. Daniel said Darren watched only half. Joining into me. I've seen 9 seasons. I've seen more Supernatural than every Arrowverse show.
You will say, right? So you were saying that like everyone thinks it peaked in season 6. Like season 1 and 2 and 3 are like scary. Like season 4 to 6 biblical. Like it does the deals of the apocalypse. And then after that, it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. But they get so settled into their roles and they do it so well. Specifically, Jensen Ackles and Misha Collins in Dean and Castiel.
Yeah. Just
perfect. They do it so good. Like nothing against Jared Padalecki. He does really good too.
Jared, great. Yeah.
As does Mark Shepard with Crowley. You know, everybody else, they do phenomenally good. But those two, hands down, like, they were so good. They were so good.
Yeah, I mean, just based off the 9 seasons I've seen, and I think I can speak just because, again, 9 seasons is a lot. But, like, what I've seen, it never gets old. Like, even when I don't think it's great, it's still good because this cast is so good. And I think if you have literally anyone else that's not Jared and Jensen, it doesn't work. Like, just those two together, I could watch for hours. And that's why I've kept up so long. Because there's seasons that I haven't loved. Like, there's stuff where I was like, that's weird. That's a weird storyline. This is kind of weird. But it is so much fun just to kind of watch them play.
Isn't it? You're right.
Darth Chosen in the house. How's it going, Darth? Hope you're doing well. Let's move on to our next show here. This was a pick of mine, which was Spider-Man Freshman Year. Now, I did make a conscious choice here to only pick one of the like Marvel animated projects that was coming out this year, just because I wanted to have a variety of stuff to talk about today. Now, it should be stated that Spider-Man Freshman Year is now called The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, as it was released this past week, and also was confirmed to be coming out this upcoming year, which is very exciting. Again, like we also have the X-Men coming out, which I'm very excited for. The upcoming Black Panther game or movie or show that was announced as well, that I'm very excited for. Spider-Man, or I'm sorry, the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Darth, are you excited for the show, or is it just me? Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, no.
I'm put off by the fact that their advertisement is like what looks like concept art, you know?
Yeah.
And then like I get what they're trying to do. But like the top left picture, you know. it's just, I don't know. It's too old school for me at the moment. I don't know.
I think that's the point, though. Like, I think it's supposed to look like a comic book.
Yeah.
I also don't think it helps we haven't seen any, like, official come out for it. Like, we haven't seen a trailer, which makes sense because it was only announced to come out this year, like, this week. So I bet they're prepping for things soon. I'm going to just go out on a limb, and say summer of 24. Like, I think Spider-Man fits during the summertime, so I could see like a August or something for the show. So we
Is this the MCU Spider-Man's freshman year or of alternate universe?
So that's a very good question. Both. No, I think it was originally being made to be a prequel for Spider-Man and was then scrapped it, or not scrapped it, but was then being like, oh, actually, no, this is going to be an alternate universe, like a what if type story.
Okay.
I know we have Charlie Cox's Daredevil in here as well. We have a couple of like returning MCU voice actors, I think. But obviously, like characters like your Doc Ock are in here, and there's characters in here that wouldn't work in the MCU's continuity and stuff like that. So
yeah, exactly. That was my issue. Is that the suits alone? It's like, dude.
Yeah, he's never had happy suits.
His gym jams with goggles, and you're telling me that he had all of these like great suits? You know, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would have been down with like a prequel to the MCU Spider-Man. Like, I like the concept. That's very, very cool. Getting to see that time we missed. That was a lot of people's problem. Was like they wanted to see a high school Peter Parker in the MCU. And what happened with like the Uncle Ben stuff. But I think this just gives them so much more freedom. Like, we can just have a new MCU. We just have a new Spider-Man show. It doesn't contain anything that the MCU's doing. They can have multiple seasons of this. You could have its own thing. And I like that every generation has their own Spider-Man show, right? If you're Ultimate Spider-Man, if you're Spectacular Spider-Man, if you're 90s Spider-Man, everyone has their own Spider-Man show. And this could be people's upcoming show.
Oh, some of them were bad though, weren't they? Like, I sound like a snob because like 90s Spider-Man cartoon, that's what I was watching.
Yeah.
And, like, I've seen the Spectacular one, you know, and that's by it. That's by it. I will give this a go, though. I will give this a go. Like, there's one of them that's real bad. But this is the thing. There's one of them that like there's like a time displacement one. Like that one's kind of bad. And then like another one where the animation was just shocking. And oh my god. But
yeah, I know there's a lot of these recent ones that aren't like the last like Disney XD one that they made. I heard was very bad. I grew up on the Ultimate Spider-Man, and I don't think that show is great, even though it's a show that I like grew up on. Like, I don't think it was a great version of Spider-Man, but
I like that one. I'm upset that it got ruined by the actor. Yeah. But I like.
Yeah, I mean, that has some fun stuff in there for sure. For sure.
Like, they nailed the quipping very, very well.
100%. Alrighty, moving up to your next thing here, and that's Superman and Lois. I think probably my most anticipated on this list, unfortunately.
I'm so nervous. Please. Go on. I'm just nervous.
I'm going to be a mess. I was thinking about this last night. I've been rewatching some Arrowverse stuff, and I've been preparing. I'll be honest, y'all. I've missed talking about the Arrowverse so much that next year I'm going back and I'm rewatching some stuff and I'm making some fun different videos for the Arrowverse. I've just been missing this world so much. And as sad as The Flash was for me that it ended, that was an end of an era, and I was very depressed. This one I think is going to hurt even more because this is it. Like, as much as I love the Arrowverse, I think what it ultimately became for me is my love for just the CW environment, and me be able to watch an episode live and talk about people live and enjoy that environment all week while I wait for the next episode. And like, that tradition for me ends with Superman and Lois. Yes, we're going to have some more DC TV shows in the upcoming year. Penguin comes out next year. That'll be fun. Cruiser Commandos comes out next year. That'll be fun. But there's just going to be something. There's always going to be something special about these CW weekly shows, you know? But I agree with you. I'm very nervous. I am very nervous. We're cutting down writers. We're cutting down budgets. We're hearing some of the cast is coming back, though, now. Sam is back.
I'm nervous about.
Sam is back for at least a couple of ones, and Lana as well. So that makes me happy. At least they're not. I was so afraid for Sam. I thought they were going to kill him in like a ditch and never show him again. Like, I was so nervous.
But that's the issue, though, right? Is having them return and not have it feel like it's just shoehorned in for our benefit and for their benefit of a goodbye for the story and the story that they've had, their arc. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it needs to make sense. And then also, because it's the last season, is it going to feel like one big goodbye? Mm-hmm. Is it just going to be people popping in to just say goodbye every episode? And then it's just like, everyone was upset because of the emotional tone of the last season. They got to be real careful about this one. You know? And then, like, obviously the location as well, and everything else that comes with it. And the reason I'm so nervous is because this show is so high in quality. I've held it in such high esteem as everybody else. It's been damn near perfect, if I'm honest with you. Even the casting that I was like, oh, like this could go like one way or the other. Everybody has just surpassed my expectations and done so well, and they've just been tripped up at the final lap. Pip the post had just been whoop, there goes the ankle, and they were just doing so well, and now someone's just come along and then just like picked all away at their creative bits and then go, right, now go make everybody happy again.
Yeah.
On the last bit, and goodbyes are hard enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at the Flash, right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody was in love with the Flash. I still am, right?
No.
But season 9, we're not going to get on that, right? But
don't get me started.
It's hard. Goodbyes are hard enough, okay? Even when you got like at the absolute love of everybody, as Superman and Lois does.
Yeah.
So to now go in with their basket half full, like, these guys are climbing so steeply uphill. I'm so nervous.
I think this is going to be a big challenge for them for sure. And if they stumble, I can't even blame them because of everything that's gone against them. But if it's good, they strike gold. Can you imagine if it's like the best season? Like, it would be insane, and I would forever respect this. And I do think and unless they really drop the ball, unless it's absolutely atrocious, I do think they're going to cement themselves as one of the greatest DC shows of all time. Right? Yeah. It's just 4 seasons. There's not 6 or 7 or 8 seasons or 9 seasons like a lot of these shows have had. Very short run. Same as Stargirl. I think that's already up there as like the Hall of Fame. Like, currently, that's the only S tier like DC show I have is Stargirl. Like, it's the only one for me where it's like, it's never faltered. I've never came out of an episode of that show and was like, it could be better. Like, they've all been bangers. Yeah. And I think Superman Lois is basically there. Like, I do think it tripped up a little bit in season 2, but like in such a non-way. Like, it's still good. So again, I'm very nervous.
I talked about the casting and I feel bad because I'm just going to single out somebody. And that's the villain from season 2. I forget her name. Ali Olsen.
Ali. Yeah, Ali. Yeah, it was a little rough. I think
you're right, but even then, the rest of the cast made every episode not sit there and go, "Oh," you know what I mean? Like, if she was featured more heavily, then maybe, but they put her in just the right amount. You know? Yo, Doops.
How's it going? Yeah, I'm nervous for sure. But I think we're gonna do well. I think we got some fun stuff in store.
These guys are champions. If anybody
if they go ahead, sorry.
I say if anybody can do it, they can. Like you said, right?
Yeah,
they can do it.
I don't know. I trust them. I do.
It's Herculean, if not Superman of a feat to do so. But we are talking about Tyler Hoechlin, who is like one of the best incarnations of Superman that there's ever been. So, and Bitsy Tilloch, oh my god,
oh my gosh, yeah,
top performance of season 3.
I think that is the saddest part of this whole thing for me, is I'm not going to get more of Tyler as Superman and Betsy as Lois, because I think they will always be my Superman. Like, a lot of people, that's Tom, and I get that because they were on for 10, but he's basically my Tom. Like, he's been doing this for what, 7, not 8, 9 years now. Like, he is my Tyler. Like, I know he's nowhere near the runtime that Tom is, right? And no one's ever beating Tom's runtime as Superman.
Been in the suit longer.
True. Very, very true. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna miss the show for sure. My friend Dylan in the house. Dylan, how's it going? Hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're doing well, buddy.
Pesky.
Or pesky, 100%. Do you have any kind of like expectations for season 4 before we move on?
Just that like you said, the budget's gone down as well, which is why the cast have had to go. So like they're going to be focusing, like, because the whole show, they have their like drama and they have their conversations and they have one big Superman moment, you know?
Yes.
I feel like that's going to stay the same. Do you know what I mean? But like, how interesting and dynamic it is might change.
Mm-hmm. 3 Dubs. How's it going?
Figured I'd pop in.
You excited for Superman Lois season 4, Mr. 3 Dubs?
I am, and technically Dean Cain is the longest running Superman in the suit.
I didn't
well,
say and yeah, good job getting rid of him. I said technically he wore it longer than Tom. That's all I said.
Yes.
Okay.
Which
I'll
is
give
true.
you that.
Which is true.
Technically, Tom didn't wear it at all. So there you go.
Got like 2 seconds out of it.
No, it was CGI. It was CGI.
Oh, really?
Oh, yep. You heartbreaking bastard.
Really? That sucks.
You reality shattering, expectation destroying pooper. Oh my god.
He wore like a little light hearted shirt, but that's about it.
That's so sad. They'd CGI'd it great because that blur looked awesome.
Also,
he was right when he said he was never wearing that suit.
Like Smallville's whole intention was no capes, no flights, no Superman.
No flights.
And they broke it. They broke the flights, but it's only like for specific episodes. So
yeah,
it's
but
not
that's
like
such a dumb rule.
And some heroes.
It's stupid.
It's Alfred Kauf's and forget his the other guy who was the showrunner. Miles Miller.
It was Miller and Goff, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was their decision. They basically wanted to make it a Gotham show.
I remember the interview they had, and it was around the time like the Legion of Heroes or whatever it is from the future was coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was chomping at the bit, like, when's the costume coming? When's the costume coming? When's the costume coming? They're like, can wait as long as you like.
I don't know. That's like making a Batman show where he doesn't fight crime. Like,
I mean,
kind of lame.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they did make a Gotham show years later, and it was actually really, really good in some aspects. So I mean, they did do a suit, like 2 different suits, which were like arguably cooler for the show, which was the Blur suit and then the black one.
Yeah, the trench coat was thick. That was boss. Yeah, it's like a street level Neo.
Mm-hmm. Dylan asked, "Are you excited for Christmas? Is everyone ready?" It's very insane because we are officially like a week away.
Oh,
Like, you're gonna be like, you know how you always forget the party nation? Well, I forget Christmas because I don't think about it that way. I mean, like, after a certain age, you don't get that excited anymore.
I'm kind of with that this year, where this this month has really been going by, and it's like, wow, Christmas. And I try to make Christmas special, like I really do. But this year has definitely been a weird one of like, this is what it means to get older, I guess. It doesn't feel as special.
When you get to be like 30, you can buy your own gifts.
I can already do that. You get people to buy you gifts, and you get to buy your own gifts. It's kind of great.
The excitement kind of once you get a job and stuff like that, the excitement for Christmas plummets.
Yeah,
because you can be like, I can buy it myself. I don't need Christmas spirit.
Yeah, and anything too expensive, you feel bad asking for. So like,
yeah, I never ask for nothing. If anyone gets me anything, I'm very grateful, but I will never ask for people to get me something. Daniel's going to New York City over New Year's. Hell yeah, man! I hope you have a great time. And
watch
say hi to
the
Peter
big
for me.
ball drop.
Hell yeah!
yeah.
Alrighty, we're gonna be moving on to my next show here, which is Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the sequel series to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem that came out this year. I was kind of going off the lists of all the shows that are coming out. What's that?
What happened to Michelangelo? Did he like was he not in the egg as long?
I think he's just bending over. He's just like,
because it looks like he's turned into the Scrappy Doo of the group. Like,
no, he's like the same height. I think he's just like leaning forward. Three Notes. We actually talked about Ninja Turtles on the Pipeline episode that we did for it. Are you excited for this show at all?
I'll check it out. I'm just not like it's not like my usual cup of tea with I'm more interested in live action turtles than animation. I like
even the Michael Bay ones?
Yeah, somewhat. Like it's not as great as the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but
yeah,
it was unique.
I like them. I don't think those movies are very good, but I did enjoy them when they had come out. But yeah, no,
watchers.
I think they're fine. I think they're worse than Turtles though.
They're too big for you.
I guess. You only like it because of Reacher and Smallville. That's the only reason you like those dang movies.
Well, there's Stephen Amell in two.
There is Stephen Amell.
Megan Fox was another one that drew me in because of Transformers, because that's when I saw her.
Is that the only reason?
No. There's also what's his name? Give me a second. I gotta type in because I can't figure.
I like the Nickelodeon. I'm gonna sound like a snob, right? Because the '90s one, the whole way, the cartoon was amazing. But that being said, I liked the Nickelodeon one.
Yeah,
that was a real cool show. I didn't finish it. I got up to the bit where they were like talking to Shredder's daughter and trying to tell her.
2012 one.
I think
because they've done a bunch.
Yes, 2012 one. Yeah,
2012. Okay, yeah.
With that big.
Yeah, I saw a good like sporadic amount of those ones. They were on when I was a kid a bunch, so I'd watch them. I hadn't seen Rise yet, although I've heard very mixed things. A lot of people love Rise, a lot of people hate Rise.
Will Arnett, that's his name.
Will.
Yeah. Yes. That man is a hero. That man. Twisted Metal.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I really like the idea of what they seem to be doing here, where it's like, okay, we have our movie that coming out, and we will be working on the sequel, but in the meantime, we have a separate crew working on the show that is building up the lore and these characters up over the course of 2 seasons, and then you get your sequel, which I think sounds really, really cool, and I think you can do something really special with just this ongoing storyline with these guys. Now, I'm not sure what the style of the show is going to be. Is it going to be kind of more these turtles going to math class and then riding on their skateboards to gym or something? Or is it going to be a more serialized, every episode is building up to a story type of thing? So I'm going to be very curious, and I will definitely be checking this
out. Speaking of Will Arnett, that wonderful man has a show on Netflix called Murderville, which is an improv show, right? So basically, it's like a procedural police show, right? In which he's a detective and a guest comes on, right? So everything's scripted, but the guest that comes on, they have no idea what's happening, and they have to solve the crime in that world that exists, right? And then they have Will Arnett in world throwing curveballs at them, and it's just really, really funny. And they might be getting a season 2 in 2024 as well, and I really, really am hopeful because it's so funny. It's so funny. It's so stupid. It's so funny. The first guest is Conan O'Brien. They've got Ken Jeong in there, and they've got Kamal Nanjiani and a few other people. Sure. I'm blanking.
Will Arnett is actually my 5th favorite animated Batman voice.
Oh, Lego Batman, right?
Yeah, he's Lego Batman. Yep.
How is he 5th? Yeah. What's obviously Kevin Conroy, right?
Kevin Conroy is number 1.
Yeah, that's never going to change. Who's number 2?
Me.
No. It was actually. That's funny.
Impressive no.
So he's actually my 2nd. If I'm being honest.
You're like, well, not 2, nothing. I guess he's 2nd.
Kevin Conroy voiced a bunch of, and I was thinking, Batman Beyond was another one, but nope, it's the same guy.
Yep. No Bale, no. Affleck?
No, 5th animation.
Animated. I got
you. I can't put like live action and animation together.
I'll tell you
I'm OCD like that.
Well,
I would accept.
Speaking of animation, moving on to another anime show, Darf's next choice is Creature Commandos, the start of the DC universe, James Gunn's DCU. Very happy that we're here already. Like, it felt like such a long wait until we were going to get any of these projects, but we got 7 or so months until we kick this thing off with our first project. Darth, how are you kind of feeling overall on this whole thing?
Phenomenal. Sorry, 1 second. There you go. Just bright thank for the comment section. Okay. Creature Commandos. This is going to be really, really, really interesting because obviously we've seen Weasel.
Yes.
This is obviously going to be a very different iteration because that one's stranded on an island. But yeah, so basically these people are almost certainly going to transfer into live action.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really, really interesting to see. Plus the animation looks really cool. So, the characters as well. I don't know much about any of them, if I'm honest. So I'm just really, really curious to see how this new universe kicks off. I'm really curious.
I only know about Weasel because he's a weasel.
Yep. No, I know absolutely nothing. I mean, I don't even know Weasel. I know he was in that movie. I couldn't tell you a thing about him.
He's a weasel.
Yeah, I know nothing about any of these characters, and that's what makes me so excited that I get to learn what James Gunn gives me. He gives me this homework. It's like, hey, here are 8 or so characters that you've never seen before. Here's a show. Here's how we're kicking off the universe. I've always thought it was a very interesting choice that this is how they're kicking off the DCU. I've always thought, as excited as I am as a show, maybe not how I would have started my DC universe, but that's James Gunn for you, I guess.
That's Rick Flag's dad, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So.
Yeah, it's like senior. Flag Senior or whatever.
And then going to be like normal, from what I understand, and then everybody else is going to be fantastic, and then he's just going to be just real good at being human.
Yep.
I wonder if they're all villains.
Or just perceived to be as such, but real nice guys.
Yeah, it definitely gives me like Doom Patrol vibes, where they're kind of like outcasts from the world.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, very Suicide Squad mixed with Doom Patrol. It's just what I'm basing my knowledge on. Like, I've heard some people talk about it. Again, I still don't know any of these guys. Like, I know we have AI robot or something. We got David Harbour up in here as your Frankenstein guy or whatever.
Immortal.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I'm excited to see David Harbour in that makeup and like live action. Like, I can hear his grunts already. He's like, oh, I'm ready. Now, I will say, I didn't put it on our list today because we don't know for sure, but it's also rumored that Waller is in 2024. Again, I won't hold my breath because I don't even think they have started filming or anything for it, but we'll see.
Wow. So, interestingly, Sean Gunn might be two people. Wait, so
Sean Gunn's playing two of these characters. He's playing AI Robot and Weasel, I think.
Yeah. Okay. That's
and then Maxwell Lord in other stuff.
He's all over DC already. My gosh.
I know he was actually motion capture for Rocket. So would he be the motion capture for these people?
I think David Harbour would be for Frankenstein, if anybody.
Yeah. Maybe if it goes into live action.
Also, right? Steve Agee is coming back, and he is going to be John Economos, or Diebeard, as he is more affectionately known on Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Love that dude. He's so cool. I'm so happy that he gets to stay in the DCU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think most of Gunn's crew is probably sticking around, which I personally don't have a massive issue with. Like, if it's someone small, like, I don't think Waller's a huge issue. Like, I know a lot of people are like, they shouldn't keep Waller around, and I think the only one that will be a somewhat issue for people will be Peacemaker, because he has kind of become like an icon. But also just like, I don't know.
How do you not find Peacemaker?
I'm just happy we get to keep him. I want season 2 so bad. It's been so long. All right, moving on to my next pick here. I have the Knuckles show again, mixing it up a little bit. Knuckles was supposed to come out this year, but I'm going to assume since we got like 10 days left, probably not. Do we got any Sonic fans here that are also excited for Knuckles?
Of course.
yeah, 1,000,000%.
I think Knuckles is coming out next year, though.
Yeah, I'm going
because
to assume.
Sonic 3 is coming out December 25th of around there for next year.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess like a February or something. Like
I think it's going to be closer to the Sonic 3.
Maybe.
So people don't like forget what happened.
I don't know. As long as it comes out eventually, because I am very excited. We haven't heard anything for a while, so I hope everything's okay on their end. I'm curious what the show's going to be about. Like, is it going to be a more episodic thing where he's just kind of hanging out, or is there going to be a plot line? Like, is he going to go out and fight villains, or is it going to set up Sonic 3?
I think it's a setup for 3.
According to IMDb, Knuckles the Echidna is Deputy Wade Whipple, the techniques of the Echidna warrior.
Interesting.
So it still says early 2024.
Okay. If I had a bet, I'd say February or March. So,
Christopher Lloyd, Cootie.
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher. What?
That's right. Is he? Yeah, he's still around, isn't he?
Yeah, I just didn't know he was in this.
Yeah, Carrie. Elwes, Stockard Channing, the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So the thing is, though, is they follow. If that is the case and that is the right synopsis, then they're following the very safe kind of formula of Sonic. And I was more hoping that he would take a solitary role and look look around for everything that he would need, you know.
Yeah.
But take what you can get, right?
I will. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know. I just think it's fun that we're getting like a live action Sonic series. You know,
well, let's be honest, it's not really live action.
I bet there's gonna be live action people.
Live action people, but you know the character is in
live action, yeah.
Because I love Sonic, obviously Knuckles, right? But like Sonic, Shadow, and Silver are like the coolest trinity, you know. And we're getting 2 out of the 3, so I am super excited, and I cannot wait to see Shadow when he comes.
I can hear it now. Dot. It took you a minute.
Yeah, it did.
Alrighty, we're going to be moving along here to one I'm taking the backseat on, and that's Star Wars. You guys could talk about this for a couple minutes because I got nothing to say.
He's not a fan like us.
I don't even know what the show's about. I looked it up and I was like, this looks like a cool photo. I don't even know if it's real.
So basically, it's just like a bit of like an espionage thing in the days of the final days of the High Republic. So while you have Master Yoda and Mace Windu musing on Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan, you have the masses, or at least some people in them, noticing that things are going wrong and trying to deal with it before everything does. So I'm really, really curious and excited about this show, right? Because the Clone Wars show and everything else gave us like glimpses and everything into stuff before everything went crazy. But this is like a live action thing, and it's not like it's say for like the movies, right? It was very streamlined. There wasn't like a lot of stuff that wasn't like necessary to the story that weren't pushing it forward. Do you know what I mean? So there weren't like a lot of superfluous nonsense in there. Didn't even have title cards, much to 3Dub's annoyance, right? So
wait, what were we talking about? I was busy.
They never have title cards of where they are. You just got to know what the planet is, you know. So, like,
actually, they do tell you when they get there.
They do tell you when they get there, right? But there's no title cards. So, like, this is like a chance to just be in the universe. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. To just see Jedis just rocking about, just everybody with their own personalized lightsaber. You know, sure. Seeing the temple guards just rocking about, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. And like, I have a real issue that I want to discuss, but I'm gonna leave it to like another stream, and that is like what you class as a Sith versus an acolyte, right? Because I would argue that even an acolyte is a Sith. Do you know what I mean? Because like, if you're an acolyte of the Sith, you are a Sith. Right, so then the idea of like, Palpatine was still following the rule of 2. That has gone so far out of the window. I can't even begin to tell you. Right, Darth Maul, Count Dooku, Grievous, like all of these people. Right, Grievous was a robot, sure, like that's questionable. Kylo Ren, you know, like, not getting into it. I'm just saying. Point is, this show is going to be really, 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 really cool. And also, like each show is an opportunity for lightsaber vendors, right? Because you have like all of the lightsabers from the movies and the shows, but then when Ahsoka came out, you already have the lightsaber vendors have Ezra's new lightsaber hilt, right? So his third iteration of the lightsaber, they already done the second one with Sabine's. So this show, my God, the lightsabers that are just going to be flaunting hither and thither, like the lightsaber vendors aren't going to be able to keep up. It's going to be so great. I can't wait.
And I really hope this is the one that we're getting like actual showrunners to produce like multiple seasons of the show. Mm-hmm. So I really hope they follow through. I'm really looking forward to Daphne King, to be honest, as one of the young Jedis that's going to be in the show, because I've seen her in Logan. She was phenomenal.
Laura. Little Laura's in it. Oh my god, no way.
How old is she now? She has to be like at least a teenager now.
Carrie from I think it was Jessica Jones is in it.
Okay.
Carrie Ann Moss is a Jedi.
What?
Yep.
Okay, well, my excitement for this show is just goddamn skyrocketed.
She was in Iron Fist too. She was the one that got what's his name out of isolation of like from the dead, brought from the dead, like he got Danny Rand to come into light. Basically, she was the bridge for him to be in the shadows to the light of the, because he was pronounced dead. It was a whole story.
Trinity, we cannot forget.
And then I'm also looking forward to something that's, well, Jedi. I do like my Jedis.
It's hard
we know.
And sword fights. I just can't get behind, like I get the aspect of normal people, but they should be in the background.
Are we doing this again? We're not doing this again, 3Dubs.
Yes.
I will stand by it. I feel Jedi and Sith are more interesting than normal people. Unless it's Han Solo. Unless it's Han Solo.
For the longest time. Honestly, I was so with you. I can't even tell you. But over the years, like, it's just everything that I've been given has just made me like everything a lot more. And oh my god, I was so into the Jedis. I hated the Mandalorian for a while. You know what I mean? Because they are the enemy of the Jedi.
They're interesting, actually.
And they're so cool. They're so cool. I absolutely love the Mandalorian now. Do you know what I mean? They're not just the enemy anymore,
like I said, the character has to be interesting. Like Han Solo is interesting. I would watch a Han Solo movie. I would watch a Mandalorian solo movie, like it's because it's so interesting. But then you watch Rogue One and you see the guy who's not interesting have his own TV show, but the girl is interesting.
Did you watch the show, Andor?
I watched the first season. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. I went into it like, I'm only watching this because it's goddamn Star Wars. And then I came out of it like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I didn't feel right. I watched the first season and then just
I watched half of it, but I'm also just not. Well, okay.
So it's not even. You have saved the better half because the end is where it gets amazing.
Okay. I'm just behind on everything Star Wars. I haven't finished Mando. I haven't finished Ahsoka. I haven't finished Clone Wars. I haven't started any of like the other animated stuff. I'm behind on everything. I haven't finished.
Did you at least watch 4, 5, and 6?
Of what? Ahsoka?
Star Wars.
Yeah, I've seen all the movies.
Okay.
I've seen every movie I've seen. I'm just behind on TV.
Yeah, no, dude. Okay, right. You are genuinely missing out. You need to have a kick back into it because Tales of the Jedi, amazing if you haven't seen it. Star Wars Vision Season 2, really, really good. Season 1, really, really good as well. Oh my god, some of the ones in Season 1, wow. Like genuine, like with The Boys Diabolical, how some of them were just perfect stories of animation, right? The same with Star Wars Visions. There's like the samurai one, there's the one with the sabersmith, and then there's ones with like Season 2 where there's like a Sith hunting another Sith that doesn't want to be a Sith, and it's like, you will kill me, you will take over. And there's just, it's just
for
really, 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 really good. I cannot speak highly enough of Star Wars Visions. Honestly, it's really, really good.
He has a vision, you know. He can see.
I'm not a massive Star Wars guy. I guess I have a hard time keeping up. Like I enjoy it.
That's the best part of Visions is each one's different. They're not canon. It's just this is a tale of the universe. You know,
he's a Star Trek guy. Leave him alone.
I have not seen a single Star Trek thing in my life.
That's what a Star Wars hater would say.
I never said I was a hater. I love the movies. I think they're great. Speaking about things that are probably great, the Penguin I have next on my list. I almost didn't put the Penguin on because I do think out of all the superhero things, this is kind of lower on my list. Mm-hmm. I think the show is going to be very, very good. I think it's going to be a very well-made show. I'm not feeling the hype yet, though. I thought the teaser that we got was fun. Again, I think this is going to be very much because, like The Batman is a film that I thought was very good, but it's not one I'm constantly wanting to put on. Like it is a piece of cinema.
I've watched it 5 times.
5 times. I don't know. I
do like it. It's a different.
It is very, very good. It's an amazing movie for sure.
Colin Farrell is a chameleon because like if you have to keep reminding yourself that is Colin Farrell, you know what I mean? Like he did such a good job, and that small bit was like the best audition he could have gave for his own show. You know,
easy, sweetheart.
Oh yeah, he's the
world's greatest detectives. You know,
he molded himself into that character, and I am very excited to see like a character study done with this character. Like, part of me is going to be hard for it to beat Gotham, but let's be real, it's probably going to be Gotham's version just because of how much they're going to be giving this guy. And I am very excited to dive back into the Batman world again. It's been a couple years since we got to see anything from it. This is the second entry in a couple of things that they're doing. So,
did you see that thing?
Did you see Gotham Knights? Because that was recently.
It was, and I liked it.
No, that thing. So basically, like there was going to be like an Arkham.
Yes.
Thing, right? Which
Arkham Asylum is now set in the DCU now.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So like this may or may not have connected to that, but then Matt Reeves was like, "No, I want to focus on what I'm focusing on," you know, which is fair. But that could have like opened up so much. But that being said, his take on the Joker was horrendous, like shocking, if I'm honest, you know, and like that's the only thing I have to say about that movie because like that, what is that, like 3 hours long nearly, and like it's just so good, it grips you the whole time. There's not one time
it's amazing
going, oh my god, let this be over, you know, like you're gripped the whole time, and everybody has an arc that makes sense and is interesting. Like there's nobody that's just in there for the sake of it. There's nobody that's like doesn't feel true to who they are or acts like in like a ridiculous way. It's like a damn near perfect movie, if I'm honest.
So James Gunn actually did say that Matt Reeves is actually going to be doing his own thing in the DCU.
Yeah.
So he's going to be doing 2 worlds.
Which
this is his sandbox that he gets to play around in, and the others he's got to toe the company line.
Yeah, I'm gonna be curious how that works. I don't want to talk about too much because that's one of our pipeline things for the week. So I don't want to talk about too much.
Spoilers.
Coordination.
I'll just skip that part. I'll be like, I have to go to the bathroom. No, I was kidding. No, I am a little bit nervous about that though. Like I actually really like the idea of it being inside like the DCU. I think that opens up a lot of things that you wouldn't have previously been able to do in a very grounded universe. Like I was very curious to see who they were pulling in to do that. But I think in a world where Batman has been doing this for at least 10 years, I think I'm very excited to see who pops into Arkham. And who we'll be able to see. And I think it's a very smart way to set up the DCU's Batman as being literally showing us the last 10 or so years of him being Batman, whose lives he's affected in there, all the people he put away. See that through the eyes of all these people that are in there. I think that's brilliant.
And to see if this Batman can keep up with his don't kill rule.
Yeah,
I also don't see that being like we're seeing Batman, though. I don't like if it like there's not a lot of mystery to like tell about this Batman other than the fact that, oh look, Joker's in here, you know, he must have fought him and then fought him and fought her.
I think it's going to be a very different show than it was previously. I definitely think like DCU Arkham's going to feel a lot different than what, you know, Reeves Arkham would have been, you know. So
I really do hope there's actually Batman mythos inside the Arkham Asylum. Like we might get like Joker being like, remember that time I fought Batman?
Yeah, like a Poison Ivy or something in there that we haven't seen before. Like
and maybe at the season
Harley
finale we get the in suit character, the one that's going to be like the actor right there at the end of the series of season 1 being like, I'm Batman, and that's when we get announced of who Batman is.
I do think we'll see a Batman before that, though. Like, I don't think that'll be the first appearance of Batman.
We won't see his face.
I think he'll probably appear in like a.
It's basically Arkham Asylum. It's confined.
Well, yes,
in the
I think Bruce is in that. But I don't think that's going to be the first time we see him. I think we'll see him in like a Legacy, like a cameo in Legacy or something. Maybe not.
We might see a character that appears randomly, but he could be a Asylum person or Batman. We may never know.
Even the Bold won't come out. Will come out first now that the Arkham series is being switched over.
I will say if Alan Richardson or Jensen Ackles just appears in the show, I'm gonna be like, that's Batman. Like, there's no mystery behind it.
The thing is, though, for me, this Batman in Brave and the Bold has to be like God level Batman because like he's been Batman so long that he had a career that got Talia al Ghul's attention enough to have Damian and enough time for Damian to grow up, right? So, like, for him to even get Talia's attention, right? Oh, instead of just, that's a guy that just runs around in a costume, to we are a multi-century assassin worldwide organization with supernatural properties. Like, that guy has got to be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
To make us go, right, that's who I want, you know?
Yeah.
How long was if you remember Dark Knight Rises, how long was it from when he broke his back to when he appeared? Was it 10 months? 3 months? 6 months? Oh, okay. Darn. I was like, I hope it was 9 months.
Pretty sure.
Because that would be technically Damon Wayne's birth. If that happened.
9 months of him just with a broken back.
With him recuperating and getting, back to action. Because that was the only time Talia and Bruce Wayne did
5 months. Excuse me. 5 months.
That's damn close. Not gonna lie.
Alrighty, we're gonna be moving on to our next one.
Like, interesting to see Damian Wayne of Nolanverse.
Well, it's definitely long enough to sire a child. Let's just say that.
And on that note, we're moving into our last choice here. And his last choice here was Agatha All Along. or Darkness of Diaries, or whatever the heck the title is going to be next. Agatha keeps changing it on us. I thought about just getting all the logos and putting them in a photo, but currently it's Agatha all along. How are we feeling? Comes out next fall, which very excited for. I feel like this. God, sorry.
Too long. That's too long away. That's too long.
I will say that I'm not like extremely excited for it, although I am, going to watch it. If that makes sense.
I am very curious.
I'm curious of which time zone she's in. Like, is it a prequel to WandaVision, or it will be a sequel to one?
Yeah.
It can't be a sequel though.
Yeah, it takes place after.
Yeah,
because
a fan of hers comes and undoes the enchantment.
Okay.
Or someone she knows, or like a fan of hers, or somebody comes along. I think it's Aubrey Plaza, if I'm not mistaken, and comes and undoes the charm that Scarlet Witch does, and then she's like, "Haha, I'm back, man! Let's go."
I think we are going to see some like backlash stuff though, which I think is kind of the stuff I'm most excited to see.
I think we're going
more
to see
for origins and
archive
stuff.
footage.
What's that?
I think we're going to see archive footage of WandaVision.
Oh no, he's talking about like back in her day when like she was old.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Her like witch days.
Back in her day when she was old, that's Benjamin Button.
You know what I mean? Like, back in the day when it was all, Salem witch trials and everything. That I'm a sucker for anything magic, and then you combine the MCU and magic, and I am there. I'm always there for Doctor Strange. I love the Scarlet Witch and what they were doing with WandaVision. And this is going to be really, really interesting.
You didn't mention Harry Potter.
No, I am a fan of Harry Potter, but it's again separating the art and the artist kind of thing, which I'm not going to get into because it's a positivity stream. So, yeah. But yeah, so I'm really interested because Aubrey Plaza is a phenomenal actress, and like I feel like she's just going to have a lot of fun in this kind of role. And then Catherine Hahn. Is it Catherine Hahn or
Catherine Hahn?
So those two together are just going to be a laugh riot, if I'm honest with you. And I cannot wait. And you got magic. I mean, it's a win-win-win, So bring it on. And they're being real tight with all of the details about all of it.
True. Yeah, I do kind of like how much variety. Like, again, this is going to be a very weird upcoming year for the MCU, I think. But I do love how kind of many spaces we're filling in the MCU. Like, yet, like, you have your multiverse stuff like Deadpool 3, but you have your grounded with Ego, and then you have your magic with Agatha, and then you have your, like, Black Panther type era with your Black Panther show, and, like, you have, X-Men, like we're getting X-Men stuff next year. Like we're getting a good variety of like the different eras of Marvel, and I think that's a lot of fun. I think Agatha is either going to be one of the best shows they put out or one of the worst. Like I think it could be very good. Like everything we've seen looks like a lot of fun. There's definitely the argument people have had where it's like, well, do we need an Agatha show? And no, like I think out of all of them, if you came to me and you said, hey, you have to get rid of one of these projects, out of all the MCU stuff, one, Agatha might be on my list of potential.
You've raised a phenomenal point, right? So I was just about to say, and you just led me right into it, that I don't think that Marvel just has any projects just for the heck of it, right?
Yeah.
Because you have WandaVision that set up the mechanics for magic, which I think that this show is going to expound upon, and maybe resurrect the Scarlet Witch, because it might have to be that she has to be resurrected to steal her power, because you can't steal power that's not there, right? You have Loki that set up the mechanics of the timeline and the multiverse. Same with Doctor Strange and incursions and things like that. Even Black Widow set up why there are more Black Widows everywhere else. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing that's just like an extra limb and just there for no reason. So,
Sure.
like, I'm really excited, and I really, really hope that they do a Loki season 1 and give us a thrilling and exciting story, but just still lay down a bunch of lore and mechanics, and like, this is why this is working, this is how this works, this is like key to a witch's power here, and this is why this spell works here, you know, because that kind of stuff is like really small, but like just really enriches it for me.
No, I'm definitely excited to see what the show has to offer.
I can't keep track of anything like that. Basically, I'm like, ooh, shiny.
Like the whole room, and like that they were setting up in WandaVision, that like when a witch casts her runes, no other witch is able to use magic, you know, and then even like they have familiars. So all of the witches that we're going to see in Agatha all along, and you said Covenant of Chaos, they're going to have their own familiars, and each one, I imagine, as Agatha was sat like shape-shifting Old Scratch, that each one of them is going to be based on their personality. So we could be very creative.
Sure. Yeah, I also think it's worth noting that this is one of the only like prime MCU shows we're getting. Like, if you look at the like roster, like Deadpool 3, I assume starts in the Fox world. We have a lot of what if type stories like X-Men and Spider-Man. Black Panther's probably a prequel. Then that leaves Echo and Agatha as your two kind of like prime stories. And which, like, what a weird set of characters to have like lead your roster this year. But I don't know. I think it's a solid roster as well. Like, I think people are going to be shocked this year about what's coming out. Do we have any other kind of final thoughts on the show before we move into our final pick here?
Well, technically speaking, Wanda is actually still alive because you saw that glimmer of red.
Oh, I don't think anyone really thinks she's dead. Like the MCU timeline book thing. Like they're like timeline books dead. It's like, oh, she's dead. I was like, no, she's not. Stop.
There was a light. I saw a light.
Even if she is dead, she's coming back. Like, she's there's no doubt in my mind she's coming back. Like, even in that scene, I didn't think that she even died. I was like, oh, she just got buried under rubble and she transported somewhere and she's gonna cry for a couple years before I see her again.
There's a light.
Yeah.
There's no like doubt for me because there's a freaking light.
Well, speaking of things that people are very doubtful for, we have Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Doubtful?
Netflix is
doubtful? Who's doubtful?
A lot of people are doubtful after the last live action thing we got.
No, you can't be worse than that.
There's no way. No. I mean, I think a lot of people are doubtful that the creators left halfway through. But for me personally, everything we've seen since that announcement, everything that has come out since that announcement, I was like, this looks so good. Like, how can I not be excited? The castings look perfect. The trailer was perfect. It all just looks kind of perfect. It's almost too good to be true.
Freaking Appa. He looks like Appa.
I'm so excited. And I'm just excited for more Avatar content. I'm so excited to come back into the world of Avatar. I think this and Superman Lois is probably my most anticipated shows of the year. I think I'm just mainly excited for this because this is going to hold me over to 2025 for when we get Avatar Studios, which is what I'm really excited for. That's what I'm patiently waiting for, is some Avatar like theater films and the Earth Kingdom series that we're getting. I'm just ready. I'm ready for some more Avatar content. It's been so long. And I haven't even had to wait for most of it. I binged these shows during COVID. Like, I can't even imagine you guys who have been waiting like 10 years.
It's kind of interesting when I'm a fan of a lot of franchises, so having one hero appear in the MCU, aka Deadpool, it doesn't there's no dry spot for me. Because I will just find something else. And Avatar is one.
Really excited for this. I cannot wait, honestly. Yeah. You said movie then, but it's a show.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to seeing if the firebenders actually firebend out of the chi.
Yeah.
Or the rock bending is faster instead of doing all the boat dancing, and then I could throw a rock at you by then.
Yeah.
But basically I'm looking for the timing and the creativity of the animation, how you saw that I hope the animation translate into the live action. I'm seeing the exact clothing Aang wore in the series.
Yeah.
It's a little darker, but it's the exact clothing.
And they do that in the game.
Yeah.
I think
Arrow looks better too.
Yeah. I think out of if there are any issues with this show, I don't think it's going to be the fighting. I think the fight scenes are going to look phenomenal. This is Netflix. If they can get one thing right, it's the fight scenes. I am a little worried about how they represent the characters. I'm not currently worried, but I could see a world where they misunderstand them, or we already hear that they're switching up ages. So I assume we're doing different shifts that we didn't do in the animated show. That's kind of my only worry right now. That I think it is.
He's 110, so it doesn't really matter.
Zuko?
No. Aang's 110.
I'm not talking about Aang. I'm talking about two other characters whose ages are getting changed, or I guess one other character.
Well, I mean, I was talking about Aang and Katara because that's the only ship I care about.
Well, you might have a bad time then.
By the time season 3 comes out, he will be 18.
Yeah, that's not the issue. But they aged a character up where they can potentially be shipped with another character that's not Aang. So,
dude.
Which is it just seeming like what they're doing. Which I personally ship them. I actually really like that ship, but I know a lot of people might not like that. So but yeah. God, sorry.
When I was talking about the era, I meant the live action movie was bad. This one's more you can actually see it.
Oh, there's no way.
Tattoo.
The first second of the trailer is going to be better than that entire film. There's no. I haven't even seen the film. I was yeah, this is way better.
Did you watch the trailer of the movie?
I have not. I've seen clips and stuff. I've seen the gifs of them getting the rock. It takes 5 people to throw a rock. I've seen all that kind of stuff. I've seen him say "ong" and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm if they say "ong," I'm out. Yeah. Just saying.
I might just cave in and watch the movie before this comes out. I might just do it.
That's that's the equivalent of watching Inhumans.
Maybe.
That's another one. Fan 4 stick.
Yeah. Well, that being said, we are heading towards the end of our stream today. Is there now 3 Dubs? You kind of came in late. I didn't give you a chance to pick what shows you want to talk about. Is there any that we didn't talk about today that you would like to bring up and mention? What's that? No, that came out. Well, it's gonna finish in 2024. I will accept it. Because I am not marking it as a 2023 show. I am marking it as a 24 show.
I will pick something that's in 2024.
Yeah, that's huh?
What did you pick? Reacher.
No, Reacher's in 2023 though.
I missed what you picked.
I picked Reacher because I thought it was 2000.
I mean,
I wasn't reading.
It's going to finish in 24. I am not putting it on my 23 list. I'm putting it on my 24. But I mean,
same with Invincible. It's hard because that's finishing as well.
Yeah, I didn't even put it on the list. But I was like, well, we're already halfway through the season. I might as well just not put it on this list. But I mean, just to name a couple we didn't mention. I mean, Invincible, House of the Dragon. Even though I haven't finished it, that's a big show that's coming out next year. Heartstopper season 2. I'm very excited for. The new Pixar show, Win and Lose. I'm excited for that. There's a lot of stuff I haven't mentioned that I am very, very excited for. Again, we mostly talked about like big pop culturally type shows, but there's a lot that I'm ready. I mean, there's a bunch of like Star Wars stuff that I bet you didn't mention. So we will see.
The Sandman is coming out in 2024. So
is it? That'd be fun. That'd be another thing to talk about next year.
It'll be sleepy. Just
is anyone excited for Kite Man?
No, if I want a kite, I just go outside and fly a kite.
Yeah.
And go, man, this is high.
There's a lot of fun stuff. I mean, the like Fallout shows next year. I didn't mention that. If anyone's excited for the Halo show,
I am.
Hell yeah, man!
There we go.
Powered to you.
And The Last of Us.
Last of Us is not next year.
Darn.
It's 25, unfortunately. Same with Stranger Things. And
Hellbound will come out.
What's that?
I'm always waiting for Hellbound to come out because Hellbound came out at like 21, 22.
Well, you're going to have to wait a hell of a time. And I got him on the pun.
It came out in 21. So we are very, very, very overdue for a season 2.
Fallout. I'm also looking forward to that.
Yes, one. I know nothing about Fallout, but I'm excited to talk about that on the show.
Okay, the synopsis. Well, not synopsis. The what's the game about is it's post-apocalyptic. So if you like post-apocalyptic, you're gonna like it.
I do. I like saw that like trailer and I was like, this looks like it was made for me specifically. I'm so ready to talk about this. I'm so ready.
I even like Resident Evil the movies. I don't get the hate for it because I didn't play the game. So basically, I have this newfound perspective when I watch something that's supposed to be a game. I don't play the game. I watch the movie because I'm more like involved in the TV show than the games, and that's why I like Halo. And I've seen people hate Halo because of the fact
I thought you were joking.
What?
I thought you were joking when you went, I'm excited for Halo. I thought that was a joke. That's why I was laughing. Oh my God. Good for you. Good for you.
I love Halo.
I kind of want to get caught up to talk about it on here, but I also don't care enough. I saw the first episode. I was like, we'll see.
I don't.
Maybe.
It's basically a cool, like a bundle up on your couch with popcorn, watching show.
And that's the thing. Like we had talked about this on the pipeline a couple weeks ago, but like it was very clear with shows like that where like the creators didn't want to make a Halo show. They wanted to make their show, but they had to make it look like like they had to promote it as this thing that people love or people would even check it out. And that's why people hated it. Like it wasn't necessarily a bad show. It was just a bad adaptation of a thing that they loved. And that's always a very like slippery slope.
And the costumes of Master Chief and everyone that I've seen are really good and they're cool. I don't like, for me it was like cool to watch them in the suits and see how they beat up aliens, because that was cool too. And the aliens also, they were really well done for like a TV show. Then you have Hellbound where it sucked, but
you take that back. Fuck you. Sorry, Dad. That show is goated. That show is perfect.
I had to get a shot into that.
Boo on you, sir.
Well, everyone, this is going to be where we're wrapping up today's episode. It was very fun to be back on the show. We're We're going to be back on Mondays is our new day as we promoted last time, and I'm very excited because I want to cover most of the shows that we talked about today on the show and some others we didn't talk about. I like having a whole separate show. I could just talk about new TV shows that come out weekly. We'll be back not next week because next week is Christmas. I will not make y'all come watch me on Christmas. That's not fair. All my lawyers said no, unfortunately. But we'll be back the week prior with What If Season 2, Percy Jackson Season 1, and Reacher Season 2, if I can get caught up by that point. Some fun TV shows are coming out. 3Dubs might kill me in my sleep if I don't get caught up quickly. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Darth, thank you as always. It's fun talking to you. A surprise guest with 3Dubs today. He told me if I didn't let him join, he would also kill me in my sleep, which very unfortunate situation. I'm ending the stream now. Bye bye.